Greetings, gods and goddesses in training. Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Today we're talking about ripping the halo off of this light worker circus, okay? You might be a light worker, but I've noticed that they're like the biggest hypocrites of the spiritual movement, okay? Addicted to appearing luminous, so they do not integrate the identity of their shadow. So light workers aren't working with light. Most of them are selling you transcendence or escape like it's skincare. They preach love and light while ghosting their own shadow. And then they project it onto low vibrational people, right? They've built an entire personality around escaping discomfort, and they start calling it compassion. You see, the light worker identity is the ego's final costume. When the ego realizes I can't win in the material game, it rebrands itself as spiritual. Now you're not chasing money, but you're just chasing purity points. It's still comparison, it's still status, right? Maybe it's cloaked in incense and maybe some very basic Sanskrit and words like quantum, but there's still a deeper rottenness there. A lack, a feeling of scarcity there. When they say, I'm here to raise the vibration, they really mean, I'm afraid of confrontation. So I'll bypass reality until it looks peaceful for me, enough for me to be safe. They hate the darkness because it exposes their control issues. Real light does not fear the dark, but the light worker persona cannot handle chaos, because their identity is attached on appearing serene, appearing peaceful, appearing quiet, right? I'm in my emotions, I'm in my melancholy. So they demonize anything that's raw, anything that's ugly, anything that's uncomfortable. And then shadow work becomes an aesthetic, not an initiation of any sorts, right? So they'll post about integration while not doing it. This is the hypocrisy, guys. They'll post all about integration, but they'll just block someone when someone disagrees with them. That's not light work, okay? This is image management with angel numbers. Half of these light workers, man, they aren't even transmitting energy. They're siphoning your attention. Their workshop isn't about your awakening, it's about their authority. Their channeling looks like marketing copy, wrapped in a bunch of mysteries. They weaponize their empathy to secure followers. They talk about narcissists while unconsciously building cults of codependence around themselves. They smile through dishonesty, right? They'll suppress their rage, and they'll call it maintaining their vibration. They'd rather fake their compassion than risk being misunderstood. You feel me? But authentic light, it comes through friction, through saying the uncomfortable truth with love. Okay? Not sugar. Real love includes fire. Now the true light master, they burn. They don't shine, they burn. They've walked through their own hells and stopped decorating them with angel wings. They don't hide behind mantras, they metabolize pain into presence. And they know light is not a mood, it's a byproduct of beautifully brutal honesty. The truths shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. So if your spirituality needs constant validation, it's escapism, it's not enlightenment. If your light disappears every time that you've been criticized, it's not light, okay? It's just stage lighting. If you can't sit with suffering without judging it, you're not even a healer, yo. You're just a sensor, right? You're just a filter. Let me say a bunch of the good stuff and then remove all of this negative stuff that's going on in my life, right? No, like full send all of it, man. Stop preaching peace. I'm not always in peace, okay? Nobody is. But you gotta be integrous. You gotta have integrity. Doesn't mean positivity all the time, but it does mean some transparency will be nice, okay? So, for 7 days, just drop that love and light bullshit, okay? Swear once. Say no without guilt. Do something that rocks the boat, okay? I may be a bad influence, but you can blame it on me. Hey, this guy on YouTube told me to do this, okay? I'll take the blame, sure. Admit your own jealousy, admit your lust, admit your confusion. It's okay. It's okay, you're human, yo. Okay, you just think you're a starseed, okay, to feel cooler. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if I was an alien instead, right? It's another way of being isolated while still wanting to remain connected to others, right? I fear being alone, therefore let me find a community of loners. So the real ascension is not rising out of the mud, but letting the mud grow the lotus without pretending you're not the swamp too. And this is coming from the swamp monster, Uncle Makara himself. I've been in the sludge, okay? I've been in the swamp. You haven't? Come on now, right? A little bit of dark night of the soul ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's gonna recreate somebody, right? I'm ready to recreate this identity. I'm ready to embrace and surrender to this process, as scary as it might be. It might be terrifying, but that's how I know I'm going the right direction. The bigger your destiny tree, the longer your shadow, is essentially what Stephen Pressfield said, right? Project you fear the most grows your soul the most. So choose that scary one, right? Why are you choosing the generic Lightworker version when you have all these different avatars to choose from? Stack little successes. Ritualize your beats through your headphones, right? Whisper ideas. 1 or 2 hours of intense, undistracted, deep work. Don't just pull the pin, complete one thing, and the psyche will learn to path it out. Love people, but ignore their fear. This is on facts, on Tao, okay, on source. The closest circles to you might sabotage you, okay? The tribe hates the outlier. So proceed with compassion and proceed. Act like time is short, plan like you got decades. Keep evolving, keep sending it, okay? So the shadow marks the way. The fear is the reason I lean in. Love the craft, ignore the crowd. Learn to play hurt. Learn to play through life, not add more resistance to life. What would your inner child applaud for? Because your attention is a temple, not a hallway. Amateur brain off, professional soul on, right? You don't need permission, vibes, a new notebook, right? Mercury to stop moonwalking in retrograde. You need a chair, a clock, and guts that make you face the work until it bends. Shadows prove that there is light. Fear is the compass that's trying to hide your north from you. Ooh. Work sharp, not long. 2 hours like a blade, not 4 hours like a spoon. And perfectionism is resistance in couture. It looks pretty, it looks poisonous and expensive and dangerous and all these things. The light worker, happy, chirpy image isn't doing it for you anymore. You gotta get real. You gotta spit your truth, your facts, what's sitting in your heart right now, what's alive for you right this very moment. Instead of what can I say that will make them like me? What can I do that makes me, fit in terms of the spiritual community? Those are wrong questions to be asking yourself. The right question is, what is alive right now in this moment? Okay? What do I notice right now? Maybe there's a heaviness in my chest that I need to express, or there's a pain in my throat that's stopping me from saying the most important thing that can actually shift my consciousness, right? So there's little habits and little things that you're doing that are still sabotaging you and keeping you in this light worker trap, right? And you're following all these pages, right? Spiritual memes, all this kind of stuff, but you're not really just feeling it. You're not feeling divine. You're not feeling tapped in, dialed into source, right? Because if you were, you wouldn't be drained and exhausted all the time. You would actually be free and effervescent and flowing and playful and adaptable, right? Freestyling all of it. You don't need to plan it out. You don't need the perfect, most correct type of video so that other people will accept me. No, just do it messy, man, and just keep doing it. What if that messy video helps someone, right? What if that uncomfortable moment helps you to thrive, right? Listen, man, we need a lot more light workers nowadays that are going to be willing to do the hard work, that are going to need to lean into their discipline, okay? But that doesn't mean you have to be comfortable with not sharing your emotions, okay? Now, don't trauma dump on people. That's not cool either. But I mean, actually express your authentic truth. Take off the filters of reality, right? The goggles that you're constantly wearing and looking at your situation through your industry or niche, or like through the eyes of lights, right? Or whatever. And instead just enjoy the fact that all these people are different, that there are these, creative separations, right? That there are these creative, diverse people, all parts of the monad and Godhead, right? But they're so unique in their own ways. That's actually amazing, right? So if you think that I'm doing, my own healing, I'm doing my shadow work, it can also appear very selfish, right? But then if you're like, oh, doing everything for others, I'm contributing to society, that can also be too much, right? So where do you find the balance? Well, it's 1 foot in the physical, 1 foot in the metaphysical, right? And you walk in both worlds. You are not like them, right? You walk in both worlds. You can be in this world, you can close your eyes, and I can tap into a different world. And that's the flow state shaman. That is the savage shaman. That is the one that knows they are the Jedi. They know what they want to do with their life, right? It's always been there. It's just they have to reveal it to themselves, okay? So just like, don't be a light hustler, okay? Be a light master, where you go through your levels, man. You start refining this thing and it becomes exciting. It becomes fun again to enjoy life, right? That heart-centered leadership is actually so needed right now more than ever. And we know it, but nobody's doing anything about it. Uncle Makara's got to take a stand, right? I've been pushed into this position by my spirit guides, right? This is what I'm here to do. And though it may be uncomfortable, and though there may be moments where I feel unsafe and this is not working and I feel doubt and hesitation, all these things, that makes me double down more in terms of my flow. Because I understand even if Uncle Makara can have stress and anxiety and hesitation and all these, opposite of my character, that is my shadow, right? The lazy mofo, that's my shadow, right? And I see that. I love that guy, right? I acknowledge it. I integrate it as a part of my personality. So this is the real work, right? Not hiding from everyone. Not like just being in your own love and light bubble in some far off land. But how can I be in the storm and remain one of the lightning bolts? How can I embrace this current reality here and right now? And how can I double down on it? How can I cherish this moment that I have where others maybe do not have, right? You have an opportunity, a very unique opportunity for you to be a light worker where you're at. And what if you overcome? Think about it, right? What if you overcome? That's your superpower. That's your gift. And you don't need the title or label of a light worker to do that. Like I said, you just need to burn, right? Okay, yeah, I'm shining. It's quite cute. Okay, I'm like a little disco ball, right? At the party. Hey guys, what's going on, right? And then there's the dragon. Hey, it's still light, right? But one has that ferocity. One has that backbone. One has that spine, right? One has that masculine edge. One has that ability to say, no, enough is enough. This is what you got to do, right? And be in that leadership quality, actually. This is what we need to create this new earth. We have to be examples, walking examples of this new earth. You feel me? Let's get it. Upward Spiral gang, thank you so much for tapping in. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Make sure today is the most epic that you will ever embrace your life. Let's get it today, Upward Spiral gang. May we never be the same again. Stay legendary. You got this. We got this. Boom. Let's win.